Cool.
Hey everyone, this is Jay Heilman from Christian Music Review. I'm joined here by the writer of the new movie Courageous from Sherwood Pictures, Mr. Stephen Kendrick. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you. Glad to be on the program.
We're glad to be here in Albany, Georgia. We're here live to be on the set of the new movie Courageous. And if you're not familiar with Courageous yet, you soon will be. It's by the makers of both Fireproof and Facing the Giants. Now, from a writer's standpoint, when you and your brother Alex had gotten together to do the writing for both Facing the Giants and Fireproof, I'm sure the writing process got more and more difficult with each new project you did. Tell us a little bit about how the writing process changed between the first two films and now Courageous.
Yes. Well, Alex has been the one that usually gets the spark idea for the movie, and usually it's a scene. In Flywheel, which was our first production, it was this scene where this used car salesman is praying over a guy. Actually, he cheated this guy, and he was a pastor. And the pastor says, "Lord, I pray you treat this man like he treated me." And he didn't realize the guy cheated him. So that was the first scene idea. For Facing the Giants, it was a father in a wheelchair watching his son out on a football field trying to kick a field goal that was too far ahead for him to kick, and him raising his arms, trying to support his son. That was the first scene idea for Facing the Giants. For Fireproof, it was this idea of the love dare and this father, trying to help his son, and then that kind of twist that happens in the end where the father says, "I didn't do the love dare on your mom, she did it on me," kind of deal. And so, and then with Courageous, he kind of got the nutshell idea. There's a dancing scene in Courageous that I'm not going to give away. I don't want to spoil that for you, but that happens, and that was one of the first scene ideas for that movie. From there, we begin to pray through, and we usually spend months in prayer before we ever try to start anything, But the things usually work out where Alex will get the first scene ideas, and I start adding in humor, some biblical truths, and I'm really big on the investment on the front end of the movie and the payoff on the end, And so we usually have an emotional payoff at the end of our movies.
Did you write the hot sauce scene in Fireproof?
Alex wrote that one.
Alex wrote that?
Yeah, I wrote the prepare for rain scene in Facing the Giants and the dollar speech. Alex wrote the death crawl scene. And in Fireproof, I did the lead your heart scene, and then wrote a lot of the love dare aspects of it. And I did some of the Mr. Rudolph stuff that was in there, And but Alex has a great sense of humor, and he wrote the hot sauce scene. So what we tend to do though is we'll put a big piece of butcher paper up on the wall, and we're thinking what are the messages that need to go in this movie, and we'll do a lot of research. And for Fireproof, we started interviewing firefighters. For Courageous, it's been sheriff's deputies in town, finding out about their world. We wanted to do a gang angle in the movie because so many kids who get involved in gangs are disconnected from their dads, and you see the consequence of that in their lives, and they end up in prison or they die. And so we kind of followed that angle with it. So as we're researching, a lot of times scene ideas are popping up naturally. You're learning about, there's a beat-in scene, a gang beat-in scene that you're going to see tomorrow in Courageous when we watch some of the clips, because that's what they do when they're introducing someone into a gang. And then there's a blessing scene where a man's blessing his daughter, because that's such an important role of what fathers are supposed to do with their children. But we put that piece of butcher paper up, and then we start timelining the movie out.
Right.
And usually is about 66 2 to 3 minute scenes that are in our movies. And what we'll do is we'll color code our sticky notes by emotion. All the funny scenes we'll put in one color, all the action scenes we'll do in a different color, and then we can watch on the butcher paper the emotional journey the audience goes on. And sometimes we're like, okay, we got them in this heavy stuff too long, let's throw some humor in there or put some action or break it up, or and so that's kind of how it unfolds.
And that's the cool thing about Fireproof is that you were able to take a serious subject matter such as marriage, and be able to implement moments of comedy, but also moments of serious dialogue, to where the movie portrays itself as one that could really help a marriage. And I tell you, just after promoting these two films, I just am so excited what I've been hearing about Courageous so far, and just the story behind Courageous. I mean, you guys had gone with Facing the Giants was about a football coach, and then Fireproof is about a firefighter, and now you're in law enforcement.
Yes.
I was talking to Jim McBride at dinner tonight, and he said you guys almost went the Army route, but then you decided to do law enforcement. Tell us how you guys really came up with the idea to do that.
Well, we were trying to figure out what's something that's going to resonate with men, you know, and guys trying to stop the bad guys and trying to protect the good guys, and
Right.
they're carrying guns and they're in battles and shootouts and stuff. We're like, that really works for the men, you know. The men want to see a good fight, you know, and so we've got some fight scenes in this movie that are going to connect with the men. And then we were thinking, let's deal with some issues that men have to deal with. Let's show guys getting together, having fun, giving each other a hard time, you know. So you see that happening in the movie. But also, men a lot of times have a lot of deep issues in their hearts that they're struggling with. A lot of times it's with their own dads.
Right.
You know, there's bitterness, there's woundedness there. And so let's go for it, you know. So let's go after the jugular vein of dealing with some of these core issues. So the movie follows 5 different men, different nationalities, different homes, and it's an ensemble cast of seeing this journey each of them is going on to try to figure out how to be a great dad, you know. But they're also having to deal with the issues that they had given to them by their own fathers.
Right, and I really like the tagline you guys have for this movie, and each movie has a clever tagline that really captures the attention. This one being "Honor starts at home."
Yes.
And I talked with Alex earlier this year in a pre-production interview, and the story, I guess, focuses around Joshua 24 says, "As for me and my house, we'll serve the Lord."
That's right.
And I really think that it's almost like the Lord put that in the Bible just for us fathers, because I think that's a very important aspect, and I think it's awesome how you guys are taking that scripture and just taking this story with these law enforcement officers and making it into something that can be aimed at dads. First it was overcoming giants, then it was overcoming bounds that would crush a marriage. Now it's to help fathers. So
Yes.
God bless you guys. I mean, I really appreciate what you guys are doing, and we're glad, you know, as Christian music crew, we're glad to be a part of what you guys are doing, and we're just so thankful for being here on the set. We're looking forward to tomorrow. I'm not looking so forward to being up at 5:30 in the morning, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yes,
so
right.
we're really appreciative of what you guys are doing up here in Albany. So thank you so
Jerry.
much, and we look forward to visiting the set tomorrow.
Awesome.
We'll
Thank
see you guys tomorrow.
God bless you.